Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel where we discuss all things narcissism, and this video is going to be about several things that narcissistic people really take a disliking to. Narcissistic people hate, mostly because these things are going to trigger a narcissistic injury, and with those who lack empathy can potentially put you in danger. Therefore, you need to avoid these things, not to protect the narcissist's feelings, but to protect yourself, to protect your psychological health, to protect your physical health, to protect your well-being against them. So one of the first things that a narcissistic person hates is not getting their own way. They're very self-entitled people who believe that everything should go their way, that the rules don't apply to them. However, those same rules will apply to you. Now, it's very challenging when you're with a narcissist to say no to them because they don't like this, which is why when dealing with narcissistic people, the best method to deal with narcissistic people is don't go no contact, leave them to go and live their life while you go and live. As narcissistic people are incredibly offended by other people's boundaries, and then they go all out to seek to punish people who dare to stand up to them, who dare to say no to them. It's finding that balance of keeping yourself safe and not altering who you are as a person to serve a narcissistic person, as once they've found one way in to get what they want from you, so if they've guilt tripped you to get you to change your mind, they will use that time and time again to get what they want from you again. So narcissistic people really hate it when things don't go their way. They also hate your success and other people's success. Narcissistic people are some of the most envious people you could ever come across in your walk of life. Narcissistic people are incredibly envious. They fail to admit this within themselves. Instead, they go around judging other people, putting other people down, mocking other people, criticizing other people, sabotaging other people, claiming that other people have all the luck rather than recognize the work ethics that people have put into something. They fail to recognize another person's suffering because, of course, they've always suffered far worse. When you are trying to better yourself, a narcissistic person is going to go all out to try and sabotage you, to try and stop you, because they don't believe that you are deserving of that. They believe that you're taking something away from them, so they seek to ruin it for you. Another thing that narcissistic people hate is exclusion. When they're being excluded from an event or a situation or some form of information, they feel privileged to all the information. So it might be something that doesn't affect them in any way, shape or form. However, they believe they are entitled to that information. They believe they should be invited to that event. They believe that they are important and that they are special. And the vulnerable narcissist especially will take offense when they're being excluded because they know how secretive they can be. So they think you're being secretive towards them. So narcissistic people hate being excluded. Now, genuine people can hate being excluded, and often you have been excluded when being around a narcissistic person due to their secretiveness and their lies and their deception, and they exclude you on purpose to punish you, to make you feel bad, and because they themselves don't like it. A lot of tactics a narcissistic person uses, you'll often notice they don't like it when it's done to them. However, with a narcissistic person, you can't win with them. So if you exclude them through previous experience of inviting them somewhere and they didn't want to go and they dragged their feet and they ruined the day and they moaned, so the next time you're like, okay, fair enough, you didn't enjoy it. This time I'll leave you at home, you stay here and I'll go and do it. You can't win because they hate being included. When they don't want to be there, when they don't want to do something, they don't want to be included in that. That's not for them. They're not interested. So they're going to go all out to ruin it for you. You cannot win with them. If you exclude them, you're wrong. If you include them, you're wrong. If you don't tell them some information, they're going to be offended that you didn't tell them that information. If you do tell them that information, they're going to be offended that you wasted their time by telling them that information. They also really take a disliking to authority. because they believe that they are the authoritative one. They believe that they're in charge. They believe that it should be their rules that apply and not other people's rules. They don't like people telling them what they should do or how they should behave or how they should act. If they perceive some judgment from another, they simply shame somebody else or blame somebody else to shift that judgment away from themselves. Narcissistic people do not like authority, and the covert might not display this in an open manner. They might look like they respect authority. However, they play the martyr in how good they are, how respectful they are, how they've never, ever, ever broken a single rule in their entire life, which, as we know, is near impossible. Most people have broken some form of rule. That's how we learn. Whereas narcissistic people, especially the covert, will act like they've never done anything wrong. The grandiose usually has a bit more backing and a bit more support, that they can openly break the rules and then brag and boast about this to feel like they are superior. Narcissistic people will hate it when they are made to feel ashamed for their behaviour, which again is why if they've done something and people are looking poorly on them, if they're not getting if they've broken a rule and they're trying to boast about this and they don't get the reaction, the positive reaction that they require from the people that they are bragging to, they are going to then start attacking those people and say, well, what about when you did this? What about when you did that? What about you? So that the spotlight is taken away from them and over to you, and then you're the one that finds yourself answering to them, and they've removed the shame by passing that over to you. Obeying rules, just like authority. Narcissistic people do not believe that the rules apply to them. However, they believe those rules apply to you. Narcissistic people are incredibly envious people, and they will go all out to provoke feelings of jealousy in those around them, projecting how they feel over to somebody else, and then start accusing that person of having the trust issues. They will happily, in a relationship, they'll happily cheat on a partner. Not all, most will happily cheat on a partner, and it's okay for them to do that because they will turn around and say, well, you made me do it, you weren't giving me enough attention. However, if anybody dares to cheat on a narcissist, that person is in the wrong, that person is bad. When it comes to narcissistic people, if you are the one who inflicts one of these narcissistic injuries onto them, it causes them that psychological harm, and they go all out to seek to punish you, to get you back, to get one over on you, not to right or wrong, but to feel better about who they are as a person, to feel superior, to regain control of their life and of themselves. There is no winning with these kinds of people. When it comes to dealing with narcissistic people, the best way to deal with them is to walk away and no longer play. It's very difficult and we don't know their games, which is often why we find ourselves researching the games that they do play, so that we no longer fall straight for them, so that we can protect ourselves from them. If anyone has any thoughts on this video or any things they noticed that triggered a narcissistic injury, please do add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers, and your continued support with the channel is greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Liz Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.